Right. All right. Sci-Fi Express Lane. Jeff Carroll about to do it. I'm breaking down my top black horror films and ones that's not in it. Daggone it. How about that? I mean, I made 6 black horror films, and I'm putting mine on a different list, low budget, streaming platform movies. So I'll just do that. But I will say, I like some of the movies, my movies, better than some of the movies that they have put on the top black horror list. So there was a list going around with 4. I'm gonna even it up and do 5. So let's get it started. We could easily say like Sinners is the #1 black horror, because that is in our our minds right now. So we can give it to it because it's doing box office stuff. Movies and everything's supposed to get better. So if it came out now, it's better than the movies that came out before. So I'll have no problem with that. I'm also putting Get Out on my list. I put it there, even though it's not. It's not better than Sinners to me, because I felt that my holdback was Jordan Peele, living in a white neighborhood, come from an interracial family. He didn't understand how scary it is to go into a white neighborhood. I just thought he was joking about it. The movie is scary though. The ending, I could do it differently. But it's second black horror. Now, third, people have done Tales of the Crypt, and I'm going to say, yeah, I will put Tales of the Crypt there, but I don't think it's scary. I just think it's good, it's memorable, and it's black. So all of those things, from the little niglets to the police officer scene, kind of all that stuff works. So it was very early on. And this is kind of where it gets spooky. What is your fourth? And a lot of people, would say, what is your fourth? And a lot of people said, yo, I want to do Candyman. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Now, Candyman, before Get Out, was the most popular horror picture, right? But we're going to, I can disqualify it, but I'll even keep it in, right? My disqualification is, if that's the case, then Ma needs to be on the list. And, what's another one? Ma definitely need to be on the list, because Candyman wasn't written by a black man. So, we say characters, stories about black people, that's crazy, right? Because then that'll open up the door to some other ones. But even if we included Candyman, because he's like the stereotype, I'm not putting him on the list, because number one, I didn't find it scary. It was some creepy, some Stephen King energy, but he came out at the time we had Jason, Freddy, and Michael, and he looked like our uncle. You know what I'm saying? And I used to say, from the time I saw it in the theaters, that is disrespectful. You didn't even give him a mask. You ain't do nothing. It's just a regular black man in a trench coat. It's supposed to be scary. You see him across the street. Nah, to me that was trash. So if people is putting Candyman on the list, then I'm trumping that with Ma. But I'm not putting either one on my list, because there's other movies written by black people that I can put on there. So I will go Vampire in Brooklyn, which I think all around is better than Candyman. I mean, it's fun, it's got some good scenes, and the story makes sense, and it's real black vampire element. It's crazy, we got all these vampire stories. And then I would put Blackula. Blackula makes my top 5, that closes it out. I know Gun and Huss, but that movie was slow. It reminded me of, felt like Hellraiser had copied Gun and Huss, the way with the pacing, the way the vampire was. It wasn't quite Fright Night, because Fright Night moved faster, but it felt like there was vampires, and there's an element of Hellraiser that could be a vampire, because he's a bloodsucker. So there's that. But I did like Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. If y'all haven't checked out, the Blackula family, we was doing it all. I just watched Blackenstein in my class because we was studying Frankenstein. And the kids was like, yo, I got black kids. They was like, yo, let's watch Blackenstein. And Blackenstein, I haven't seen it, let's say, since the 90s, a lot of those movies, it was hard to find. You had to get them from the video store, and or you had to send away, try to order them, and that's how I saw Blackenstein. But at the time I saw it, it was on the reel, and I was playing it for a group, and I wasn't concentrating. So this time I saw it in my classroom, I was concentrating. It's definitely not bad. It has some really good black themes. When you think of black stories, there you go. Blackenstein, Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. These are right set in, what's going on. Gentrification, racism. Come on, bring it. This is what black horror, this is what black stories about. So now, I'm going to say, I have, my top 5 would be Sinners, Get Out, what was it? Bones, whatever. I forgot the name. I named it already. Tales of the Crypt, and Vampire in Brooklyn, and Blackula was my 5th. But to be honest, I might want to replace Tales of the Crypt with The Blackening, only because I really enjoyed The Blackening. I don't think I saw it twice in theaters, but I may have, because I think I saw it twice, and it worked well, and I liked what it was trying to do. I'm giving it some love. I mean, I loved Tales from the Crypt in the theaters, but I remember giving it a lot of passes, and it stood the test of time, so I ain't gonna hate. But The Blackening is a strong 6, and I think Blackula and Scream are there on GP. The simple fact that Blackula was an actually good picture and a good story from the time of Blackenstein and Dr. Black and Mr. Hyde. We don't have a black werewolf story. What is going on? I know I have werewolves in my books. I have a short story of werewolves, and I have a screenplay. But for me, it was just, I figured it out. I made it work. It's good. It's got a black element to it. But I just haven't done it. And I think whoever, does it like on a bigger scale, is going to be there. Now, I don't know if they give Underworld any credit, but it's written by a black person, but even his role in the movie is very small and not fully insignificant, but not that big of a deal. So I don't think it's given, that type of energy. What else? And I don't think Blade is a horror picture, although he's a vampire hunter. It's more action, but again, it's not written by a black person. It only stars a black person. So I don't even know if it makes the list on that. And then there's the other one I thought, if we considered it horror, it would make the list. And that is They Clone Tyrone. And The Clone Tyrone comes off very much like Get Out, in the sense that it isn't, it plays on stereotypes. It plays on myths, right? They're cloning us. Get Out plays on the stealing us and doing things to our bodies, body parts and stuff like that. I remember when I first watched Get Out, I was like, oh man, I wonder how Jordan Peele and the Atlanta child murders is, getting down. Did you ever remember that? He was a little young. I was in middle school myself when the Atlanta child murders was going on. But in Jersey, we had a whole curfew because of what they was doing to the kids and them kids going up missing. I remember seeing the newspaper, I think it was in Jet magazine, all pictures of the kids. So they was keeping us inside all the way in New Jersey, and it was just in what do you call it, in Atlanta. I remember there was people that had gone missing in New Jersey, you know what I'm saying, in New York, that was connected to the Atlanta child murders. So anyway, I had wondered for that, but I proposed a panel. I was going to go to another element of this discussion, but I proposed a panel, and I think it's a really good discussion. I may do it here with my little sci-fi express lane, but I wanted to just talk about, movies and stories that involve real elements, and why is that so important to black people. There's another movie that I don't consider a horror. I haven't seen on anybody's list, but I believe white people really consider it a black horror. And I don't think black people do, but it's why I thought of this panel, because like with me, I use real life situations and stuff to build on my stories from, so if it is Atlanta child murders, if it's cloning, I'll do it. But when it comes to something like Sinners, which just deals with different spiritualities, that's not spooky to us. It's spooky to black Christians that don't look outside the door, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of black people that's looking outside the Jesus door, and it's not that spooky, so to save the dead ain't no big deal. So the story that I don't consider horror, that a lot of white people consider horror, is Beloved, right? A lot of black people just accept that as something that goes on, I have a comic book series, it's award nominated. We didn't get the award yet, but it's up for 3 awards. Come on, gotta win one. Fingernails. And Fingernails is my ode to black spirituality. It is a girl who can see ghosts, who goes around with a ghost and a bruja, which is a Latino witch, and they go to show people that all ghosts aren't bad. And that's because in Western world, you hear ghosts, you call Ghostbusters, because a ghost is bad. Even if it is the movie Ghost bringing you the keys to the treasure, or where they buried the money, they still consider ghosts bad. You know what I'm saying? And that is it. It's so bad that I've seen podcasts on Sinners and saying, Michael B. Jordan is playing with the devil. They even broke down Michael B. Jordan's name because his middle name B is it from Yoruba. This is Yoruba meaning, so this dude has been spiritual from birth, but yeah, they still want to associate it with negative stuff. And it's not because people think it's negative, it's because they interpret the Bible the way they interpret it. I'm one that actually believed the original Trinity before Constantine had the Nicene Conference is the Father, Mother, Child, like the Ankh. But no, they eliminated that woman and called it the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. And so they done took the woman out. But and the spirit is been demonized. So I think that Beloved and all that energy is a cultural thing. So I don't consider Beloved a horror, right? I believe Beloved is a bad situation that happened. It could be like a car crash or anything, but I don't believe it is a horror meant to scare us. It's a tragic life story. That's really all it is. But anyway, those is my top I really want the Blackening to make my top 5, but I'll give it to Tales of the Crypt. You know, it is what it is. All right. Thank you, Jeff Carroll, Sci-Fi Express Lane. Let me hear what you got. All right. Peace.